just got off work. It's 3 o'clock. I actually got to swing by my place, grab a few things, and then got a couple hours. We'll have to drive, set up camp tonight, and then we'll be hunting first thing in the morning. Get out there and get set up before daylight, and all day sits for 4 days is what I plan on. Gonna be dealing with some wind changes and stuff, so gonna have to move the stands around, or move my stand around probably a little bit due to the wind switching, but should be good to go. Packing lunch every single day, and as long as it's daylight, guys, we're gonna be out there hunting. I ain't gonna go back to camp during daylight, so gonna really put our time in. Hopefully we can run into a good one. I know this general area of this public land that I'm going to is known for big deer, so high hopes, but I will update you guys whenever I finally get to camp and get it all set up and ready to go. Finally made it to camp. Gotta unload the truck now, set up the tent, get everything ready to go, and then get some sleep, and we'll head out in the morning. I will check in with y'all once I get camp set up and kind of tell you my plan for the morning. Alright guys, here is home for a few days. All the gear in here, my nice little cozy cot. There it is. Alright guys, there it is. It's going to be home for a few days now. Got the nice little cot set up here. I threw another tarp on the outside of the tent too, because we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, so hopefully that helps with the water a little bit. Got the buck stash rocking here. Should be good. Started the day off, dropped my DSLR. Busted my lens all up. Luckily didn't shatter the glass in the lens though, so. But yeah, that would have sucked. Anyway, got it all set up here. I'm gonna go ahead and probably eat me a little sandwich for dinner, pack up some sandwiches for tomorrow, so I can eat in the stand. And then, yeah, the plan is tomorrow, there's a little, the very back of this piece of public, there's a little strip of woods, real thick timber. And it connects to a big chunk of thick timber over here and a big thick chunk of timber over here. So theoretically those bucks should be cruising that strip of woods along the river. So we're gonna set up there, gonna have a south wind set up, have my wind blowing over the river, and wait for a big buck to come cruising by. Probably sit there all day. Might have to change. I want to sit there all day, but might have to switch locations because the wind is supposed to shift from the south to straight north, so we might end up moving midday. I don't know yet. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and eat me something and get to sleep, and I'll check in with you all in the morning. Is in the books. Slept pretty good on this cot. Got a nice pad on it, nice sleeping bag. Didn't really have to worry about the cold last night because it was like 60 degrees all night. So bunch of coons are trying to get in my tent. Other than that, it's pretty good. Yeah, plan this morning is go to that little skinny strip of timber there and sit for a while. The wind actually switches this morning at like 8 o'clock, so it's like I could set up for a south wind or a north wind, but I'm going to be screwed either way. Either I'm going to be screwed early or late, so probably just going to set up in the same spot I planned and then just roll with it, see what happens. Once that wind switches, hopefully I might actually get down and move about 40 yards or so, but then I should be good. The deer should be coming through the north of me then, so but yeah, that's the plan. I don't even know what time it is right now. I think it's like 4:30 right now. So I gotta eat some breakfast and probably eat some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for breakfast, and then I got a iced coffee. So eat that and get going, get out there real early, kind of look at some stuff on my phone and some maps and stuff, and then get out there, get in a tree and see what happens. Alright guys, we're up here in the tree, just getting daylight enough to be able to see out, or actually getting daylight enough to film. I've been able to see for a little while. I'm set up here in this little skinny strip of timber right on the river, and their main trail is like 10 yards right here in front of me. The wind's right in my face. I looked through the rest of the strip of timber, and there was no other trails. It was just this main one right here. So ideally, if they come through here, they should be right here, 10 yards right in my lap. Super windy this morning and pretty warm, but it's the rut, so you never know. I'm gonna go ahead and get quiet here though, and hopefully something comes through. Spike come running through. It's about 8:30 right now. It is so freaking windy. I don't know if deer are gonna move in this wind or not. I could probably talk as loud as I wanted and they probably wouldn't even hear me. Yeah, but that little spike come running through this morning was running all around like he was kind of on the trail. He was kind of on the trail of something, so I was waiting for another bigger buck to come through doing the same thing, but it never happened. My wind just switched too, so the wind's not looking good for this spot anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and set it out because I feel like deer could still be moving. But we're going to go ahead and get down here and probably, I don't know, an hour or two, probably 2 hours. We'll get down. I'm gonna head about a mile to the other side of this piece of public, and that wind's coming out of the north now, so I can slip up from the south and get into this spot where I know these two huge trails intersect, and they're some of the biggest trails I've seen on this piece of public. And there's a bunch of fresh scrapes and stuff when I was here like 2 weeks ago. So I'll probably go over there, hunt this evening, and it's a north wind all day tomorrow, so we'll probably slip in there in the morning, hunt all day in the morning, or hunt all day tomorrow, and then the wind's supposed to switch again and come from the south. So we might pull the set after tomorrow and go somewhere else, but I don't know, we'll just have to play it by ear and see. Just doing a little shooting here. Got the target right there. Just taking a couple 20-yard shots, making sure my bow's on. Get that confidence up. It's like 10. No, it's probably getting close to 11 now. So I'll probably eat my lunch here real quick and head on over there to the porta potty and then head on out for this evening's hunt. Temperature's been slowly dropping all day. That wind switched from out of the south to straight out of the north, so, and then all tomorrow it'll be out of the north too. Drove around the public land, seen a lot of sign from the road and some big trails crossing the road and stuff, so got some other ideas if the spot don't pan out today and tomorrow. I'm probably gonna set it all day tomorrow too, but if that don't pan out, definitely gonna go maybe do a little scouting after tomorrow's morning sit and find a new spot. But I'm the only one here. Drove around, checked all the parking lots. I was the only one hunting this morning, I'm pretty sure, unless they got out earlier than I did. I'm sure we'll probably get a little pressure here getting closer to the weekend, but I'm gonna get way back in there in the thick stuff where I doubt anybody's gonna be, so high hopes for this evening. Alright guys, we're back in the tree. I was going real slow trying to make my way in here, and I watched about 8 doe just slowly feed their way right through here. I was gonna push in a little bit further, but I didn't want to cross the trail that they took, which is like 10 yards right here to my left. It's super thick in here, so I'll have to pick my hole to shoot in. But I got a little bit of an opening here. I got a pretty good shot at this trail over here. I mean, it's thick though. I think that's just a huge bedding area, and those doe were just kind of getting up midday and just feeding around. Alright guys, I am back at camp now. Not too bad of a day. I seen those 2 small bucks this morning, which I sat up there to catch bucks cruising through. Those just happened to be small ones. And then the wind changed on me, so I went to that different spot this evening. Had a whole pile of doe in there. As I was trying to sneak into there, I seen some a doe feeding. 8 doe ended up just feeding their way through there, and I let them all pass. Went in there, set up on that trail that they were using, and then had another small buck come cruising through there. But as I was walking out, and then that was all I seen this evening. And then as I was walking out, I flashed I had a headlamp on, and it died, but it still had enough juice where I can turn it on, see for a while, and then it would die again. I could turn on, see a while. Well, I got out to the main trail, clicked it on, and there was a monster buck with a doe bedded right off that main trail. Didn't spook him or anything. It was only about 400 yards from my stand, so hopefully get in there and have him come by in the morning. Plan on going back to that same spot and sitting there all day. So it's gonna be nice and cold tomorrow, north wind all day, and then the wind's gonna switch again for the following day, so I have to decide what I want to do from there. But hopefully tomorrow we get on them. About to cook me up some dinner here in the camp. But that is going to do it for day 1, guys. Yeah, all day set tomorrow. So eat some dinner, go to sleep, wake up and do it again. As it is the next morning, day 2. Going back in the same spot I was in last night. Gonna get out there and sit all day. Got some sandwiches packed and some water packed and a ton of clothes on so I don't get cold. It's super cold this morning. Sleeping bag I got kept me warm though. I slept good all night. I think it's like 30 this morning. Probably low 20s. Probably low 20s down here by the river, but that's the plan today. Sitting all day, and hopefully the big one comes by. Seen quite a few deer yesterday for being day one, so it was a lot warmer yesterday. So nice and calm this morning. I think the wind's supposed to kick up a little bit, but nothing like it was yesterday. So, well, I'll get out there and see what we can see. I snuck back in here as quiet as I could, but I seen deer literally from the parking lot all the way here. It's like a 2-mile walk. Like every couple hundred yards there was deer, so if I don't see anything today, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I feel like I should definitely see some deer. I'm gonna sit all day long. It's cold. There's a heavy, heavy frost last night down here in these bottoms. That wind should be perfect all day. It's kind of blowing over my left shoulder, but I plan on the deer being right over here, kind of over my left shoulder. So the wind's kind of blowing right down the trail that I walked in. So that's perfect. Sit tight, hopefully the buck comes following that same trail. I'll try to run them over here. They're back in the stand here a little later than I wanted to get back. Check the time. It's 1:30. I planned on not being gone too long, but I ended up walking a couple patches of woods. Just kind of snuck through them. I didn't kick anything up, and I stayed on the downwind side. I was just looking for some big buck sign or some big tracks or something. Seems like there's just a ton of little bucks around here. But I did walk this field that's right out here to my right, and there's a lot of dirt showing through the field. And there was some really big buck tracks in it. So, I mean, hopefully those bucks are still around this area. However, we're still gonna hunt right here this evening, and then I'm gonna head to the other side of this, the whole other side of this piece of public. And we're gonna try our luck over there in the morning. If I don't see a shooter buck over there in the morning, I think I'm gonna make a little drive to another piece of public, then hunt that, and I'll come back to where I'm camping at, and then kind of decide where to go from there. It's about 3 o'clock now. Just had a doe come flying through right by me, and then right behind her, they're probably about 30 yards away. She come flying through, and then right behind her I couldn't really make it out. I could just see a couple tines, but it didn't really look like a shooter. But I mean, he was right behind her. Hard to film them in this thick stuff, but that was another small buck come running through on that same trail. That must be a hot doe, so hopefully a couple more bucks or get on that trail and once a shooter. So here's how the evening went. It went really good, but really bad at the same time. Got in there at like 3 o'clock, had that hot doe come running through, and then a little buck behind her, and then another little buck behind her. Sat the rest of the evening, didn't see anything. I'm in a real big thicket, and it gets a lot darker in there than it would out on the field edge, which is like 80 yards away from me. And when I was walking back to my stand from scouting a little bit and kind of doing some still hunting, I seen some really big buck tracks crossing that field in this one area, so I got down from my stand real quick and went and checked that field out because I could still see through it with binoculars. Didn't have shooting light, but I could still see with binoculars. Seen a deer out there, threw the binos up, and it was a really nice buck, probably 150-inch deer. And so I was all pumped up about that. Go back, get all my stuff, and give that deer time to work across that field and get out of there. Started heading back, trying to get a game plan of where I want to set up in the morning because the wind's changing again. And as I round the last corner, heading back to my truck, there was a probably 170-inch deer standing there. I seen him with my flashlight. He didn't spook, just kind of moseyed his way back into the woods. And got back to my truck, and there was a guy there. There was actually like 4 guys there, and they said they were, one of them just shot a deer in that area that I just seen that big buck. And they had more guys roll up, so all 9 of them are headed in there right now to track that deer. So they're gonna blow that area up pretty good, I'd imagine, depending on how much they track that deer. So don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. I might just head way north of there in the morning. Hopefully they ran those deer out, and those deer kind of just pushed north of there. Might just try to set up there in the morning, hunt there, and then I don't know, if I don't see nothing, maybe make a game plan for the evening. But that is how my evening went. So a little bit of a roller coaster there. I got all pumped up seeing those big bucks, and then now I got a whole army of people walking in there to track a deer. So I don't know. At least I know there's some big bucks in the area now. Starting to doubt it, but I seen those big tracks and gave me a little bit of hope. Then seen those big bucks, gave me a lot of hope, and then my hope just got shattered. So I don't know. Going in blind in the morning. Just gonna head up basically that same patch of timber I've been hunting, just about I don't even know how far it is, another quarter mile maybe to the north end of it. Set up, just find a trail I guess, and set up on it, and hopefully one comes by. But yeah, that's the update. I'm gonna eat some food and get some sleep.